Hello everybody, my name is Pumpkin Bat and today I would like to do just a little tutorial, a little video on Dressing Tools 2.0. This is a tool used to dress primarily booth avatars. So I wanted to walk people through this because this is a pretty new tool. This is going to be good for you if either this is your first time ever working with a booth avatar or if you have used booth avatars before but are used to different tools or even the 1.0 version of the dressing tools. So really fast, just why dressing tools 2.0? So if you're familiar with the old version, you used to just click and drag your prefab onto the avatar, right click it, and then dress an avatar essentially. There were some more steps you could take to like position it, but what this would do is it would essentially add all of the bones in the armature included in your outfit and then add those bones to the base armature of your avatar. This fundamentally changed the armature of your avatar, which is called destructive basically. If you wanted to reverse the changes by dressing your avatar, you had to manually go into the armature and take out all of the bones. So love that for you. I guess I should have prefaced this. You're going to want like basic Unity knowledge and basic knowledge of booth models in order to kind of proceed with this, just so you understand the mechanics. It's not necessary really, but if everything I'm saying sounds like French, you might be like, oh my God, what are they talking about? You might want a little bit more context. I'll link a video below that talks about the manual way to dress avatars, just to give you a baseline. But anyway, let's talk about dressing tools. So yeah, it's a tool that allows you to dress your avatars. In the new iteration, it is non-destructive. So that means it's not going to fundamentally change your armature. It is going to apply the dressing when the avatar is built. So when you go into play mode or when it gets added to VRC. If you've ever used a tool like VRC Fury, it works similar to that, where you don't have to actually make any changes to your controller, avatar, nothing. You just click and drag components. So we'll get right into it. Step one, of course, is to actually acquire the package. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. You can go to Guides and then Get Started, Installation. And there's a couple of different ways. So the first way, you can install with the VCC, VRChat Creator Companion. If you click this button, the Dressing Tools website will prompt you to open VCC. And then you're going to get this pop-up. And what it's going to do is it is going to add the tool as a repository. So similar to the pre-built ones like Audio Link that's already in there or Gesture Manager, this will be added as a package that you can include in your projects. I already have it, so I'm not going to add it, but that's how you would go about it that way. Another way you can do it is you can actually add it by pasting the link. So right here under step one on the website, you just copy this here and then open your Creator Companion. Ignore all of the things I have open. And then under Settings, Packages, Add Repository, you can just paste it and click Add. Once again, don't need to do it. I already have it, but that's how you would add it. And then the next step is going to be setting up your project. So once you have added the VRChat, dressing tools, and make sure your Creator Companion is up to date, you're going to click Create New Project. Now, I have been using Unity 2022. At the time of filming this, we're kind of on the cusp of the very beginning of transitioning to 2022. So you can see 2019 is still supported. Thus far, I have had no issues creating new projects in 2022. If you are thinking of using this on an old project that lives in 2019, I would not be able to speak to how that's going to work. I personally do not dare convert any of my old projects. So just food for thought. Whatever you're using, just use what's going to work for you. The dressing tools will work for either. So you're going to go ahead and then we can just call it tutorial project. And then you're of course going to click Create Project. VRC is going to load all of the core dependencies, and then here under Manage Packages, you can add even more. And this is where you can find your dressing tools. So find dressing tools in the list and then click the plus sign. And then that is going to be added to your project. And you'll see it clicking the plus on dressing tool automatically adds the other dependencies that it comes with and has. And then in addition to that, I highly recommend adding gesture manager. I do this on any project I have, but especially for one where, you know, you're not necessarily manually adding your menus, it just makes testing so much easier. And if you're like, what is that? Gesture manager emulates kind of like VRC in Unity and allows you to test like your menus and your toggles. Once you've done all of that, you're going to go ahead and click open project and then load everything in that you need. I did not feel like making everyone wait 20 minutes, and I didn't want to wait 20 minutes, so I preloaded a project with the things I need. I did the food network method, you know, had one already ready to go. So I'm going to open up Unity, and here's my tutorial project. A few core things. We've got our Lil Toon shader. First thing you should load in, of course, is any necessary shaders. The avatar that we're going to be working today, the base is Manuka by Jingo Channel. And then also we have our outfit, which I will link below. I cannot read that and don't recall the Romanized name at this time. But yeah, so we are ready to dress. So in order to dress our avatar, once of course you've got your base avatar on the scene and you've unpacked them, you're going to go to Tools, Chocopoi, Dressing Tools. Now there's a lot of ways to go about this, but personally I prefer to like open up the full editor. That's my preference. Click Dressing Tools, and then it will prompt you to create a cabinet. Obviously I already started the process here, but I'm gonna just click it anyway so you guys can see. Click Create Cabinet, and you're gonna get this screen. Or you might get this automatically if it's your first time loading the project. So it's gonna say, hello. Select or drag your avatar here. You're just going to drag them from the scene right into here, and then click Start. Then you get this page. And so this is the cabinet system. This is very different from the old dressing tools. So here is where essentially you can store your outfits. You can store it. It's like a cabinet. It's like a wardrobe. You can store everything. So now we can dress the avatar. Once again, I was like messing with this, so I had something on there. Delete that. But to dress the avatar, what you're going to do is find the prefab for your outfit. So open up the inspector. We can see this outfit here. Very cute. So you're just going to drag it straight onto your avatar. And don't worry about it overlapping with things. Don't touch the base armature. Really, you are just going to be worrying about, does this look proper? You don't even got to unpack it, okay? So once you're there, go ahead and go back to the dressing tools. And you have a couple of ways you can do this. You do have the option of right-clicking it, going to dressing tools, and then you can do quick setup close. Or you can click Setup Wearable with Editor to pop it up here. I always prefer to do it with the editor. Thus far, I haven't done quick setup. But if it's something extremely simple, by all means do so. Yeah, so you're going to click Add. And then we're going to start at the top here, Setup. Avatar, Manuka. So she's already loaded in there. And then you are going to drag your wearable, which is the outfit, into the wearable slot. Now for wearable info, you can choose to give it a different name in your menu. I'm going to go ahead and do that and just put bomber jacket. And then a feature I really like is you can actually give it a thumbnail. So click capture new thumbnail, and it duplicates the wearable and gives it like a preview, and then you can click capture and it captures it from the scene. And now this will show up in your menu, which I think is pretty awesome. So there's a lot with mapping. You actually can go so far in depth that you can rig outfits to avatars for which they are not the base. So I could find a prefab for like a Kikyo or a Celestia and rig it to Manuka if I really wanted to. I'm not going to be doing that. This is a simple tutorial. So let's move on to what I think is kind of the bread and butter here, what you're going to want to be looking at, which is the Animate tab here. Click Animate. And then we're gonna start with avatar animation on wear. So what this animate tab does is essentially, how is our base avatar animated and how is our outfit animated while this toggle is toggled on? So we're gonna start by clicking avatar animation on wear and then toggles. And then obviously we don't want it to look like this. We don't want her apron and shirt and tie all overlapping with the outfit. So let's start by finding something we want toggled off. This is gonna show all of kind of the other toggles available, the base outfit here. So we're gonna start with Manuka costume apron and click the plus sign. By doing so, this is gonna pop up a preview generated by the dressing tools, and this is what it looks like. This is what it will look like when the toggle is on. And you'll see now, we click the plus sign for Manuka costume apron. It's toggled off. And now when she wears the outfit, that will also be off. So we want to go down the line, of course, and to do this with all of her costume components. So I think the bracelet can stay, that's fine. The tie can go. And then she does also have stockings. I think we can take the stockings off personally. And oh God, what's happened? Don't worry, we can tackle that in a second. But yeah, once essentially all parts of the original costume are gone, you can move on to the next part, which is blend shapes. As you can see, obviously there's something going on with their blend shapes. And it's really easy. You can just click on the offending mesh. So in this case, her body kind of messed up, right? You can just click on it, go to the inspector and see what blend shapes are toggled on. In this case, it looks like the shrink stocking is all the way to 100 by default. Don't change it in the inspector. Go back to dressing tools. And then under our blend shapes, go ahead and Manuka body. You're gonna click the plus sign and this will add a blend shape to apply while you're wearing your outfit. So from here, we're gonna find shrink stocking from the drop down, and then it's dropped down to 0 by default when you add it. If for any reason you wanted to have the stockings on with the outfit, you could make sure it's at 100. In this case, we do not want it, and it looks like the outfit fits perfectly well with it all the way down at 0, so huzzah. Now, you might be wondering or thinking like, hey, okay, but what if I adjust other parts of her body? Well, the great thing about this tool is that it's pretty smart, and all the way towards the bottom, you'll see something called Blenshape Sync. So here, it detects certain blend shapes in the wearable that would match blend shapes in the avatar and can sync them up. Now, this is not a perfect tool. So you can see here that the jacket and the top already have accounted for the breast big blend shape. Sorry, the name is kind of pervy, but that's what it's called. So that means if I adjust the breast big blend shape, then these pieces of the outfit will synchronize and adjust accordingly, which is awesome. However, Manuka actually has 2 different booby blend shapes. So not only does she have breast big, but she has like breast bigger, I think it's called. So we can just add that under the Blenshape Sync, so that way we do not need to worry about manually adding it here. So go ahead, we're gonna click Add under Blenshape Sync. We're gonna drag the piece that we want to synchronize from, so the Manuka body, the source, if you will. And then we're gonna find breast big plus. There we go. And then here, we're gonna add the mesh in the wearable. So Sukajyan, that's not pronounced correctly, but. And then we're gonna select the blend shape from the wearable that corresponds. So just to review one more time, you're gonna click Add, pick the mesh on the base avatar, click the base avatar blend shape that you want to sync, then click the mesh on the outfit and click the blend shape on the outfit that has to sync. And now, if I move her booby slider, everything should move all at once, harmoniously, okay? Awesome. And just gonna do a look. I mean, the outfit looks pretty good. I don't think there's any other blend shapes that I need to add. If you really want to, you can get in the weeds here. If you wanted to, you know, you could change her hair blend shapes and change her face blend shapes to match the outfit. For now though, for a basic tutorial, I think that's okay. One other thing you can do as well is you can adjust the wearable animation on wear. So that means when the outfit is toggled on, you can also adjust the animation of the actual wearable here. Now, I think this looks fine, but if you notice on this sidebar here, there's actually an option for sneakers and socks. So if maybe you preferred sneakers and socks as opposed to the boots, you could go under wearable animation, toggles, toggle off the boots, and toggle on our sneakers and socks. I'm not going to do that, but just letting you know you have options. Now, speaking of options, one other thing you can do is called customizables. So maybe you want the boots to be the default, but you also like the idea of having the sneaker option as well. You can do that by adding customizables. And customizables basically allow you to have variants of the outfit in your cabinet. So I'm sure if you've worked with boot outfits, there's a lot of variants. So you can customize it and have different variants of the same base outfit on your avatar by adding customizables. Okay, so you're gonna click add, and then I'm gonna name it sneakers, and this will be a toggle. So the wearable toggles are gonna be as follows. We're gonna click plus on the sneakers and the socks, and then for the boots, those are gonna be toggled off. And notice how smart it is. The tool kind of like already detected that, but just double check, make sure. So now the wearable variant is going to be building on what you've set up here. So you do not need to reset the base avatar toggles. You don't need to redo the blend shapes. You don't need to change it fundamentally. All you need to do if you're creating a customizable is essentially work off of the base you've already created. And if the base you've already created, like in this case, has boots, then okay, you want to make sure they're not equipped for your variant. And you can further adjust the avatar toggles. Like for example, if for some reason you decided you wanted her to wear her stockings with the sneakers, you could do that by adjusting the avatar toggles specifically for the variant, the customizable. And you can get really into the weeds with the blend shapes. There's some pretty intricate outfits that are going to have very different blend shapes. But once again, we're not going to go in the weeds. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. So we've got our base outfit, looks pretty good, cute with the boots. We made sure that it's going to synchronize with our big booby blend shapes. And then we've even added a customizable where it is the sneakers instead of the boots. So once you've kind of set everything up, it looks good. Bear in mind the customizable will not have a preview, as you can see. But once again, if everything looks pretty good, you're going to click add to cabinet, and that is like your save button. And now we're kind of back to the default scene. So where do we go to see this? That's where Gesture Manager comes in. Now, before we go into play mode and Gesture Manager and test this, very important detail. You need to have right defaults on. You need to have it on your FX layer. I've gone through and experimented, and I have found that if you have right defaults on for every single layer, there have been issues for me. Like typically the gesture layer is what will break, but as long as everything in your FX layer specifically has right defaults, in my experience, this tool works. So just make sure you go in your FX controller. Usually these booth models will have custom ones already. Just make sure everything has right defaults checked. And that is how this is going to function, okay? So I already know that this one does, her FX layer does. Once again, I tried changing literally everything, including the gesture layer, to have right defaults, and that kind of broke the avatar. But just having the FX layer has worked perfectly fine. It allowed the dressing tools to function. So once you've assured, okay, you've got the outfit set up and you've got Gesture Manager loaded in, which by the way, you can do by finding the package and just drag it into the scene. Once you've done that, checked for right defaults, go ahead and click on the Gesture Manager package and click Enter Play Mode. Now it is going to take a while to enter play mode when you use a tool like this, because it is building the avatar and adding the things when you go into play mode. So basically all the like hours of work to create toggles and stuff that you would usually put in, that's kind of swapped out for letting it load into play mode. That's my opinion anyway. So now that we're in play mode, we can see our avatar. We can test gestures in gesture mode. You can move her around, make sure the default outfit is, you know, doing the thing and her bones are working. Great. So make sure you go back to gesture manager and you'll see here a radial menu. It's over here. I'm mirrored. And then these are the default things. But if you notice, you're gonna have an option, a submenu that says DT cabinet. This is the cabinet that you set up with the dressing tools. So by default, the original outfit, of course, is toggled on. However, there is now a submenu for bomber jacket. Now that's because we set up a customizable. If we had not set up a customizable, then it would show the thumbnail that we took and it would just be a simple toggle. But we're gonna go to our submenu and we're gonna click enable. And this is the default outfit we set up. Notice it moves well, everything seems to be rigged properly. We should give her panties, that is beside the point. And then let's go to bomber jacket and then sneakers. And it looks like I need to adjust the blend shape of her feet for the sneakers. So we'll go ahead and do that. Or you can go back and do that, I should say. But yeah, overall, save for the foot sticking through, you know, it's rigged properly, it's moving with her. So a pretty good first test overall. So exit play mode, and if you need to make adjustments, you can go right back into dressing tools, find your outfit, and click edit. So remember, one of the adjustments we decided, or at least I decided, was that I do want her to be a little bit modest here. So I'm gonna go ahead under avatar animation on wear, toggles, click Manuka underwear panty. So now she's wearing panties, you know, gotta protect her modesty there. And then under customizables, sneakers, her foot was kind of sticking through her, her sneakers. So we wanna make sure that's not happening. So for the customizable here, we're gonna go to avatar blend shapes, Manuka body, and then we're gonna find the foot heel blend shape and just make sure it's set to 0. We want her foot completely flat for that sneaker. And I'm pretty sure that'll do it. So once again, if you implement any changes, you click the edit button and make adjustments, just click add to cabinet, and then that will save your changes. Add to cabinet is essentially your save button, okay? And then once again, let's go into gesture manager, enter play mode. It's gonna rebuild. It can take a little bit of time to do that, so make sure you're wearing your patient pants here. And then let's see take 2. So DT cabinet, original automatically enabled, bomber jacket, enable. And let's just move her around, you know, left and right. Yep, she's wearing her underwear, awesome, we love that. And then let's enable the sneakers and, oh, yep, looks good. Now, when she has the sneakers blend or customizable enabled, you can see her feet are no longer sticking through because we adjusted that blend shape. And if you click enable, or enable again, it will go back to your base, but you'll notice it does keep this on. So you'll just want to click that off. That's my experience. If there's a way to prevent. Hi. Post-production Pumpkin here, realizing we did not showcase the Blenshape Sync. So really fast, just to show y'all that that does work, we're gonna go gesture manager, enable our outfit. Manuka by default does have a slider for her chest. So notice we move that up and the clothing automatically adjusts for that. Yay! And of course, if you move her around, you know, it's still working, no clipping, everything's rigged and moving as it should. So just wanted to let y'all know that does work. I totally forgot to showcase this initially. Situation. But yeah, that's it. Your avatar's dressed. You can do this for as many outfits as you want. And that's a very, very, very basic Dressing Tools 2.0 tutorial. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you want tutorials or videos on the more detailed things, I'd be happy to look into that. The documentation is really good, and the Discord is also extremely helpful. I just wanted to make this because I personally find that videos help me a lot. I feel like videos are the foundation of my avatar knowledge. So I think it can be a big help just to have that visual walkthrough. But yeah, thank you so much, and support your local library. Have a wonderful day and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.